You think that Rocky Long would like to have two DTs that were 300 pounds running 4.8? Huh, Danny boy? That's what Jimmy had. No, not Cortez Kennedy. No. It was me and JB. Yeah. 4.8 at 300 pounds. This was 30 years ago we were doing that crap. And I know he's a hog guy. He likes them big in the trenches. And they come out of spring. And by the way, so he knows, I've been told by Ted Gange that I'm going to actually be voting with a vote each and every single week for the top 25 college football teams. And I said that Rocky stunk at the beginning of last year. I was like, dude, where's he going with this? I couldn't have been more wrong. That team rips off all them wins. They go undefeated in the Mountain West. And in my opinion, one of the best West Coast teams in college football a year ago. And Rock's got that program going into Pitts, getting recruits. And, boy, I'll tell you what, you talk about a revelation for me at least, but he's got this program heading in the right direction. Plus, I dig their gear. You can follow him on Twitter at Coach Long, Sdsu, here on the Corky's Hotline. And, Coach, I'll tell you right out of the gate, the most important thing you do is the gear for me. I like the – hey, so when you're recruiting me, Coach, just give me all the gear and I'm ready to roll.
Well, we talk about the bling. You're into the bling, huh?
Yeah, oh, no, hey, I'll tell you a quick story here. I wouldn't go – so when Penn State came and recruited me, I looked over at Paterno and I go, so you guys don't wear white shoes and have your names on the back of the jerseys? And Coach Paterno goes, no, this is about Penn State. And I go, oh. And he goes, what, that doesn't fit you? I go, well, I like the white shoes and I like my name on the back so my folks can see me. And he looked at me and went, well, son, I don't know if Penn State's for you. And I said, that's why I'm going to look at Pitt, Coach.
That's an interesting deal. They're still the same way. Parents are all worried about where they're going to get the best education, and the kids are all worried about what the uniforms and helmets look like.
Yeah, no, Coach, it's funny you say that, though, but really when it comes to facilities and stuff, that's part of the selling point, isn't it? When you're going around and telling a kid, we're going to give you the best opportunity for visibility on you being able to have your talents seen by people, and also where you're playing ball, no?
Well, that's one of the big things to the kids. You know, you hope that they have some influence, a little more mature influence than that, but it's getting down to an arms race in some cases. You know, if you have the nicest looking locker room and the best weight room and all those sort of things, that entices some kids to come here that might not otherwise do that. And that's a battle going on all the way across the country right now.
So, Coach, you're not going to talk to me about going to an economics class or a statistics class, are you? I mean, come on, Coach. You're not going to go, hey, we have a great education. I'm going to go, come on, man.
We do talk about it because we think that is what we should do, but we talk about the other things too.
All right. Talk to me about the spring, Coach. What did you like so much that you may have seen this year compared to a year ago that you thought we got better at?
Well, I think we have to develop a couple defensive linemen and offensive linemen, and the guys we know can play didn't get much work during the spring, so the guys that we're trying to develop, they got a lot of reps, and we got through the spring practice without anybody getting hurt. That's a real positive, and then we think we have 6, 7 NFL-type guys coming back from last year's team, and it's all about attitude now. I think we got enough players. It's all about their attitude. If they have the same attitude that we had toward the end of last year, and we're team first and individual second, we'll have a good football team.
Coach, I was always told that if you have a lot of open jobs going into the fall camp, you're kind of a long way away. Are there going to be fewer jobs open this year than there were a year ago going into that fall camp?
I think quite a few fewer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I think that we've got guys that have stepped up and proved that they're the starters on the team, and other guys are trying to catch up. And whenever you got the young ones trying to catch up, you're moving in the right direction. Now we just can't screw them up with our coaching.
Yeah, it is Rocky Long here on San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. Coach, when you can tell your program's going places, is it when you start to see that you have second and third guys behind the number ones? Because I tell you, Coach, when we started seeing the success of our program and we had the Cortez Kennedys, the Russell Marylands, and all these other guys behind us, that's when we started knowing that our program was heading in the right direction.
I think that is probably the biggest problem of the Group of Five, which we are a member, has as compared to the Power Five. The Power Five has 2 or 3 deep of guys that can play and mature and all those sort of things. We have a starting 22 that can play against anybody. And then the guys behind them are going to be really, really good players, but most of the time they're a little immature and not experienced enough to have the same kind of depth. And I think that's the biggest difference in the two type of teams.
Coach, getting out to a strong start this year compared to a couple years past, I mean, look, there's no question that a year ago, sensational season. But getting out of the gate against some of those non-conference teams, how important is that for you this year?
Well, we hope we're moving in the right direction, and we want everybody to know that. And I think at the end of last year, we were a top 25 team at the end of last year. But in order for people to think we are, we got to beat some of those people early on. I mean, the one that we have to beat is Cal at home, and if we get off to a good start, I think we've got a chance to get a few of those votes. That's why I'm being really nice to you, because I heard you say that you have a vote.
I do.
So if there's anything I can do to influence, it's a political season, so I'm more willing to do that. But
I tell you, if you get another Hawaii bid, I'm telling you, I want a seat on that airplane. That's where you get another one of them Hawaii gigs. You're damn right. I'm going to be an assistant, and I'll carry the water if I have to.
Well, if we go there again, you're invited. We hope we go someplace.
Yes.
Maybe even Miami or something. You'd like to go there too, right?
Oh, I'd like to see us in an Orange Bowl. I would definitely like to see that happen. Hey, Coach, for you, I see what the SEC is now generating like $14 or $15 million for their football season. I just saw where they whipped in and even more money for the NCAA basketball tournament. I don't know how you guys do this where, you know what, it's got to be in a situation where it's tough to schedule teams from those conferences. Why won't SC and UCLA schedule games with us?
Well, we do have a home-and-home with UCLA. I don't know when exactly it starts, but they're willing to do it. We've done that with every Pac-12 school that we've tried, except for SC and Oregon. They won't go home and home with us. Everybody else has agreed to do it or has already done it. So we've got that part done. But the biggest thing you mentioned was the difference in resources. I mean, the difference in money those leagues have to develop programs as compared to ours is unbelievable, and it's getting bigger daily. But I'm just old enough to think that people matter, and if we do a good enough job, we can compete even if we don't have the same resources.
I'll tell you, Coach, in my opinion, I like the old way better when I was in college. I mean, the bowl games mattered more. Hell, we were in the fifth hole when we won the national championship against Nebraska. All those teams in front of us got beat that night, and Howard Schnellenberger walks into the locker room and says, "We beat Nebraska tonight. We're going to win the national title." And now you have all this politics. I thought there was less politics then there is now. I like the older system.
I agree with you. I think there was less politics then, and I think the resources of the supposedly the ones that have it and the have-nots, I thought was much, much closer than it is now. And it's mostly TV revenue. When you have an SEC getting $30-something million per school per year, and we're getting $800,000, that makes a huge difference.
Coach, real quick, how'd the quarterback look in the spring for you?
He looked really, really good. I mean, I don't know why we didn't know he was that good to begin with. I mean, when Maxwell Smith went down and Christian became the starting quarterback, we didn't know what to expect, and he did better than we ever thought he would. And he continued that during the spring. Now, he got the starter's status. We didn't touch him, and nobody hit him. And if anybody came close to him, I yelled and screamed at him. So we'll see how he does when people are flying around trying to hit him.
Finally, you be okay with me putting you in at 20? And by the way, I got Dennis Dodd on my side too with this, and I've been squeezing Dennis Dodd. I'm squeezing a couple other guys too to sit there and put you guys in preseason number 20. Would you be all right with that?
I'm all right with that because I think in order to stay there, you got to start there. I mean, it's hard to break in if you don't start there. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm good. I vote too. I vote through the coaches poll and I'm not afraid to put us in.
Yeah, I think, I'm talking to Pat Forty too. And I'm working the room for us. I want you to know that.
If we go to Hawaii, you're on the plane.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm working the room here for us. I'm going around and I even talked to Ivan Mizell. I went, "Hey, Ivan, I'm telling you, this team out here, don't go to sleep and just always eat on the Boston College crow up in the East Coast up there. Hey, these guys are pretty good, man. They shocked the hell out of me. So I got a couple people putting you in at 20. I think we're going to be good there.
I appreciate all the help.
You got it. Hey, Coach, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right, Dan. Thank you.